What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, episode 44, and we are the Nintendo Podcast, a part of the 8-Bit Collective. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me, as always, is Bryce DeWitt.
Howdy ho.
And this is our Nintendo Direct 2018 analysis and discussion episode. We are hot off the heels of the Nintendo Direct. Bryce, what did you think of the show all up?
7 out of 10.
Good?
Yeah.
Good show?
Good show.
Yep. They come out with, just swinging, didn't they? But it just sort of all ground to a halt when Super Smash Bros. Rocked up.
Yeah, I think, well, I'll probably talk about it when we've finished, but yep. I think there's a couple of particular reasons why that is, and we will talk about it afterwards. For now, I'll probably just save it until we've done the meat of it.
I feel like if you're not a huge Smash fan, this Direct would be fairly disappointing for you. Obviously, you and I are huge Super Smash Bros. Fans, so that was fantastic, having a really deep dive into the game.
Yep. Seeing
all the little mechanics, even seeing that a different dash mechanic in there, that's really interesting for nerds like us. But if you're just whatever, Smash Bros is a fun party game, you're going to be quite bored by it probably.
And if you're worried about this, we're going to glance over the Smash Bros stuff. We won't spend half the episode talking about it like the Direct.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
I don't know how long it actually spent. It would have been about 15 or 20 minutes, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty long. It was a pretty long discussion about Smash, it was. Yeah.
All right, let's get into what they were talking about. So they started off the show with a really interesting looking mech game. What's it called? Demon X?
Demon X Machina.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. Had that been announced before, or was that just announced there?
No, it's just announced there. It's a very Ace Combat-y game.
Yeah.
And not Ace Combat-y. God, I was saying it all before because I was asking a question of it. Ace Combat was
like the airplanes, no.
It was Armored Core, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You were saying that. It's like, is this Armored Core? Is this Armored Core?
Yeah, I said, is this Armored Core? Because it just looks like fucking Armored Core. But no, it wasn't. And apparently it's its own unique game, which is, it's not a bad thing. It's created by... It's by Marvelous.
Yeah.
So... studio that's done stuff in the past, like a lot of different really weird conflicting genres in the past, so I'm sure it'll be fine for the most part, but it looks fun.
It does look fun. I really love the art style.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to open up the show, just like something
new.
We're like, what's this?
Yeah.
Then they moved into some Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. Now, you're the Xenoblade expert. You discuss this.
Very, very excited for this. So, if you need a little bit of context, the DLC, this is the main quest that they were talking about. The story expansion, what's going to be, adding to it and making the story feel more fleshed out. It's set in the past, and it's the story of Adam the hero. So you're going to be seeing familiar characters that were from that time, but different, I suppose, because they're not exactly the same moving however many years forward. You're going to be playing as Adam, and anybody who was relevant during that time, which is great. That's fantastic, and I like it. So
this is DLC exclusively for people that have finished the game?
I think it'll have its own separate campaign.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be tied to the main game. Stats are not gonna matter. You'll probably unlock some stuff for your main file. But for the most part, it's Xenoblade Chronicles 2 set in the past. The areas look a bit different and stuff like that. It really is an expansion, which is great. That's great to see. It's not just using with Breath of the Wild with the expansion pass. That was great and everything, but there wasn't a whole lot of meat in terms of this is a completely brand new area and stuff like that. It was kind of just like, hey, here's some trials and here's a dungeon based off trials.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's bad for Zelda. That was, for the most part, that was perfectly fine in Zelda's case. But this DLC really needed to come out swinging, and I think it's going to deliver really. So I'm looking forward to it, honestly.
Because we were watching it, and we're like, what's this? Because it started off with sort of the story trailer, just introducing it, and It wasn't until maybe 20 seconds in, you're like, oh, Xenoblade. I'm like, okay, yep.
No, it wasn't even that. I think the second they mentioned living on the back of the living on the back of the beast, so I was like, Xenoblade.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hell yeah. And it looks so good. It looks so good. The story of Adam is very much talked about within the actual game, but living it is obviously it's a whole different thing. So going back and seeing all this story to do with Adam and how his story came to be at the end. If you play the game, you already know how it ends.
Yeah, don't tell us.
But there's no detail.
Yeah.
So this will be the detail.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. That sounds good. Like, if you're excited about it, you love that series.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that they're making good DLC for it. Sounds pretty fairly well priced, too. Would you say that expansion pass was?
It was $40 or $45.
So that sounds alright.
We've been getting regular content updates, which is great. We've been getting new quests, new blades and stuff like that. It's been pretty fantastic, honestly. So seeing this looking as pristine as it does and as unique as it does, I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome. It really is going to be great.
I'm excited for it when I finish the 100-hour campaign. But I'm like, oh, more content. just what I need. But after that, they moved into Reggie speaking, and he introduced didn't introduce, but he re-explained the poker. What's it called? The Pokeball Go Plus.
Yes.
A bloody accessory for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and this is where they when they basically announced that when you buy that accessory, that is the way you obtain Mew in the games.
And this is the biggest bullshit that came out of the entire thing.
Yeah. This got me to say "fuck you" at your TV.
Yeah, it did.
I'm like, it is
horseshit.
That is really not a.
No, it's
nice
bad
move.
No, it's bad business. It's bad business practice. And that sucks. But again, I think the thing is like a lot of people are going to be like, oh god, now I have to buy it to get Mew, and I'm just turning around and I'm thinking of saying, like, Mew's not going to be that important in this game.
He's not
realistically.
So they give. It's a controller with a nice little novelty. It's good for kids, whatever. Like, for example, it's $70 here in Australia. That's a lot of money. That could be an extra game for you around Christmas time, right?
That's almost a pro controller. Yeah,
almost a pro controller. Mm-hmm. That's right, and it's 3 buttons technically. a joystick that clicks in, so that's two, I guess. It's a fun little accessory, but to basically put a paywall on Mew isn't a good idea, I don't feel. And especially
it's such an expensive
especially
paywall.
In these games. So there's 5 legendaries in this game altogether. So there's Mewtwo, there's the 3 birds,
and Mew.
And there's Mew. So Mew they're not going to make a fun. What I was most disappointed in, they could have put a little feature in that, you know, you actually go to one of the trucks and you can like find Mew under there. Like they do like a nice little Easter egg.
You know, that might even still be a thing.
It could be.
It could still be a thing. It's just frustrating. You'd have to lock something like that behind such a large paywall.
This still could be like early access, for example, and
you're
still in the game.
Yeah,
or it could be a second one.
Look,
whatever it might be.
They might change it completely. They might just be like, fan outrageous shit on this. We better just dial it back. You know, but overall, they did say they were going to sell it as a package with the game if you bought them together, which means you'd be able to get it cheaper. I'm not sure that warrants me saying, hey, look, I guess I'm acceptable of that, because I'm not going to be.
Depends on the price. It's not going to be that much cheaper. You might be saving $10 all up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to buy it on the eShop anyway, so that really doesn't help me.
No.
But and I will say, if I feel like wasting money at the time of Pokemon when it comes out and I'm hyped up, I might buy it.
No.
Because
solid pass for me.
Solid pass for you.
It's a solid pass. I'm not buying that controller unless they're going to give it to me for $20.
See, my brain tells me pass. My idiot, my idiot self says buy it.
I look at the watch that they put out for Pokemon Go, and I look at that and go, that's $50. That's $50 for a button.
Yeah, a little button and a bit of Bluetooth. Yeah,
that's silly.
A light. Yeah,
that's awful. And a lot of people are like, oh, it justifies it because I don't have to look at my phone to do useless and meaningless tasks. It's like, oh, I suppose not. But that doesn't make it acceptable. It could be $20. It's not that expensive to run tech like that. And it's the same thing with the Pokeball. It's like, that could be $20.
Oh, well.
But I don't know. Anyway,
All right. Next up, they announced a new Mario Party game called Super Mario Party.
this is fantastic.
Yeah, it looks fun. Looks like a Mario Party game with some interesting motion controls for the mini games.
Mm-hmm.
And
And some console interaction.
yeah, so they showed basically having two switches on the table together, and you can set them up to each other to like interact with one another, so you can play on both switches. They're showing like I can't remember if it was a tank. Sorry, if it was a tank game,
Yeah.
and you can sort of drive over to the other switch and.
Yeah. Look, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how much of a difference that's going to make for a lot of people, though. I think maybe they probably should have left that kind of thing out and just left it as a TV party game that you can play with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I think they're sort of leaning into making it a board game you're actually playing on the table, rather than looking up at the TV.
I know that Mario Party's had a lot of bad rap for the last God knows how many years at this point.
Like 15.
But there's no doubt, like as a kid, Mario Party was one of the greatest things you could play with people because it was just fun. And like that's what's good about this Mario Party. I'm just not sure whether
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm just not sure whether people are just going to sit around a table and play it like that. I think with the integration of the Joy-Con and stuff like that, yes, you can play it anywhere, but the controllers are so pass aroundable. Wouldn't you just want to play it on the TV where you can all just sit on a couch and play?
Well, it looks like there are still a lot of games that use the TV. Like they did show that.
Yeah, I would imagine that you can that the other games are disabled in handheld mode, and that's fine.
Or you lay your TV on the ground next to your mate's TV.
Well, God, but it does take away from the fact that they could have been creating games to do just solely for the TV experience.
It'll be interesting. Like I will enjoy the the new gameplay. I guess the Switch opens up where you can place it on the table next to someone else's Switch.
Yeah,
but like if I'm playing like with my mum, obviously she doesn't have a Switch. You won't be able to do that type of thing.
Mum, buy a Switch, please.
Yeah, buy a Switch so we can play Mario Party together. Yeah. But I was saying to you when they announced this, it's fantastic they're actually bringing out more motion controlled, casual party games. Because as much flack as 1-2 Switch gets, I did enjoy that at launch, being able to hand a Joy-Con to my mum or friends who don't play video games and they laugh.
And just play silly shit.
Yeah, and you've got your Switch there, no TV. It's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to playing this.
Look, this year is really big on terms of like last year we had a lot of single player experiences, not as many multiplayer ones that weren't ports.
Yeah.
Already, we had ARMS and Splatoon, granted, but we also had Zelda and Mario, which were our major grabs, and Xenoblade and stuff like that. This year is leaning a lot more towards possible couch play, more than it is single player experiences, and I'm okay with that. Mario Party is a good addition to that roster, so I like that. We've also got Tennis Aces, we've got Smash Bros. It's just a whole lot of nice stuff there. Really, Pokemon could be played on a couch co-op.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Give
it's
that
good.
to your mum. Help me throw the balls, Mum. Throw.
Yep, pretty much.
So that comes out October 5th this year.
Yeah, and that's not a bad date. That's good.
What else has come out that month? Probably a fair bit.
Well, you go. The only problem with it sitting around that date is you have stuff like Red Dead you got to think about and all that are releasing on other major consoles. Call of Duty.
Yeah, fairly different audience, though.
I understand it's a fairly different audience, but for the people that do enjoy dabbling in a bit of everything, Mario Party is probably going to be a very minor choice because of its reputation over the past decade.
It's definitely going to be... people are going to be waiting for reviews for this one just because of the lack of trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's also why I think they went with the name Super Mario Party rather than Mario Party
700.
Yeah, God knows what they're up to.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's going to be a really good party game because I want more party games.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
the Switch is geared for it.
Yeah, at the moment, like for example, on my PlayStation, I've got Jackbox, but a lot of stuff on the other consoles sort of leans more towards maybe your Call of Duty multiplayer or or something like God of War, which is single player. The Switch is just fantastic for party games. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
So then they went into Fire Emblem. We've got a brand new Fire Emblem game, which is called Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Mm-hmm.
This blew us both away when we saw it.
Oh, absolutely.
It has that beautiful anime style you've seen in Awakening and the 3DS games, but now it's the gameplay as well. It all looks like a cutscene. It looks great. Just what you've seen in the battles is how dynamic that camera is.
It's beautiful.
That's what got me. Like, you see it, then it sort of swings into the attack you're doing, the turn-based attack, and it swings back to the battlefield. And
everybody's got their own sanction of an army, and it works out really well. Like, we've known about this Fire Emblem game for ages. We know it was coming out. It was pushed back. I'd like to mention that all my predictions this year got scratched out, but we'll talk about that later. It does. It looks phenomenal. It looks so fantastic.
After seeing the lineup for this direct and assumably what will be the rest of this year, it is a shame this game is not going to fit in there.
Yeah.
I think there is room for another big Nintendo game in this lineup, but we'll get to that after.
Mm-hmm.
The bits where you can walk around, like, I assume you've got little hub city which you can walk around and talk to NPCs.
And as far as I know, that's relatively new for Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I guess the last 3DS game, which was the remake of the second one, sort of introduced walking around dungeons and that aspect. I guess that's coming back to this game.
I guess so, yeah.
In some way, I really like that too, having, those, I guess, quiet moments where you can interact and organise.
And you can just see the world.
Yeah, of course. Like, it's beautiful. You just want to walk around it.
Fire Emblem worlds are always like an enigmatic mystery, because they're just, most Fire Emblem games are like mission to mission. There's no in between.
I guess it might make it a bit more something like Persona, where you can actually explore the world, talk to characters who you want to talk to.
Yeah. Get a little background information from people, and just it does. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I really hope they keep all the stuff that they brought in and introduced within the 3DS games, like the relationship systems and how they work, and they just keep all of that together. You've got the marriages going on. You've got possible kids growing up and all that stuff, and they can fight for you, all that stuff. That's all stuff that needs to come back to this, and I think it will. So introduce that with stellar gameplay, as Fire Emblem is pretty much known for in a strategy community sense. Bring it back with like all those nice graphics, everything looking very pristine, and those battle sequences looking fantastic. It's going to be a killer Fire Emblem game, and I can't wait for it.
Absolutely. So spring America time for that one.
So yeah, if you're Australian and you kind of lost with seasons there, that's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th month of next year.
Yeah,
anywhere in that bracket.
So a bit longer than they originally said, and a bit longer than we would want, but obviously that's the time they need, and hopefully they put out a really good game, because it's looking really impressive just from what they've shown there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is. Fire Emblem has had such a kickback since Awakening, so I feel like they need to put in that quality now. They really need to keep that momentum going, because Fire Emblem for a lot of people who played Nintendo was almost never there. It
was a very, very, very niche.
It was super niche.
It was just like, I like a turn-based game, so I like this. Now it's sort of come into like the main staple of franchises.
100%.
Well, actually, it definitely has come into the main staple of their franchises.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much they've stopped making Advance Wars games to everyone's
100%. Yeah. So next on the list we had Fortnite, and it was released today.
Yes.
Pretty much immediately after the conference. We have yet to see it on the Australian eShop. I called this but didn't put it out on my predictions, and I'm a little bit salty about that.
Yeah, but it was sort of leaked to the point where it's just obvious as hell.
It was leaked, but it could have also been delayed. But I said I said to you, and I said this to you. I said I will put my money on the table that it will be announced at the direct. It will be put out at the direct, and it was. Now this is a good thing for the Switch. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. Even if you hate the game to pieces, even if you're just like, oh, battle royales as dry as anything, and don't worry, I hold some of those feelings too. I do dab in Battle Royale, and that's my whatever. I don't play that much of it anymore, but Fortnite on the Switch might help that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But despite that, I'm pretty sure Save the World is also present, which is their PvE mode.
It is. I didn't actually pay attention to that.
I'm pretty sure it is, because it's the thing is the Save the World content is not free yet. You would still have to buy it. BR is definitely there. Save the World would have to be there at some point.
Yeah, at some point at least, yeah.
If it's not there already. The issue that we're having on the eShop at the moment is that it doesn't seem like it's going worldwide yet.
Oh, at the time of recording, I can see some of my American friends are playing Fortnite.
Yep.
When we go to the eShop, it's just not there.
No, yeah, it's just not there. If you try to load up the page through the friends list, it's definitely not there. It just says software is unavailable.
So by the time you guys are listening to this, I dare say it will be up, and you would have been playing it for a while now.
You know that they held, and I've said this too, you know that they've held this off the store because it's just going to
crash it, yeah.
They're probably already having problems with the American service holding the strain. Where the Hollow Knight is actually up on the store, and you've purchased it as of when we were, just waiting to go through a little bit of the treehouse stuff, make sure that nothing was going to go at us from there. And it's downloading incredibly slow for a small game.
Yeah.
So
it's like a gig and a bit, and it's taken like an hour and a bit.
It's taking ages.
Yeah.
We're on the NBN here where we live. And it's roughly 12 gigabyte an hour. So for a gig to take an hour, you know that the eShop's having issues.
Especially for Hollow Knight too. Everyone must have been like, "Yes, Hollow Knight."
Yeah, yeah.
And like, let's just skip to Hollow Knight. Well, no, actually, sorry, we won't yet. I just want to talk about how Fortnite looks.
Yeah,
it looks fairly good. Textures are obviously downgraded a little bit, as you would expect. I don't think anyone would expect any less.
No, yeah,
but it looks great. From
does.
What you can see.
It looks fantastic. The thing is I've played that game on multiple platforms now: PC, Xbox, PlayStation. I've dabbled in it on everything because the great thing about Fortnite accounts is that they're multi-platform.
Yes.
So not only is the game cross-platform, if you log into your Epic account, you retain everything, unlike most games like Call of Duty Battlefield, where if you own them on multiple platforms, you don't keep jack.
Yeah.
So that it's worth, investigating on other platforms if you want to just have a mess around with it. So it'll like keep all of that, stuff like that. It'd be good to have a nice little portable around the house Fortnite type of thing.
I've always been interested in Fortnite. I've downloaded it on my PS4, but I never booted it up to actually play it.
Yeah, because the problem with being primarily Switch in a console sense is you get so used to having that in the handheld and having something else on the TV.
Yeah, so just playing that while watching something is going to be great.
Yep.
Just getting into it.
Absolutely. For the most part, it seems like it runs very smoothly, which is awesome. That's great for anything. If you're not well informed on the topic of Fortnite, the game actually was released on the iOS platform, and it's cross-platform with everything as well. And like, just from my experience and having a look at it, watching stuff, it doesn't look fantastic on mobile, but it's functional and it works.
Yeah. On
the Switch, it's looking okay and it's perfectly functional. So it's not a high-end PC or PS4 or Xbox or something, but
of course it's not.
It's not. No,
that's not what the Switch is meant to be either.
No.
So,
but as long as it's running at perfectly decent frames for a Twitch shooter, which is what it should be running at good frames. If that's the case, then sure, it works. Good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. Just have to put it on the Australian eShop.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. I'm sure it'll fix up eventually.
So moving into the leaks, I guess what we were sort of expecting. Overcooked 2 was announced August 7th.
Yeah,
it's coming out.
Looks great.
It looks great. It looks like they're adding to the original this online multiplayer, which everyone just was clamoring for that game. I heard nothing but good things about the original Overcooked, except for apparently the Switch version, at least at launch, was a bit janky.
Yep.
So I never actually ended up picking it up, because by the time I guess they updated it, I must have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
Or something else come out, whatever the reason be. But being the second one coming to Switch, hopefully they've learnt their lesson and they're definitely going to have the quality standard up for this one. I'll be definitely picking it up.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks
said,
really good.
Like I said before, like a fantastic party game to be playing, just with 2 Joy-Cons, 4 Joy-Cons, whatever it might be, on the TV, on the gamepad. Not the gamepad. Ugh. On the Switch itself.
On the Switch, yeah.
Really excited for that one. I think it was it 30? It's $37.90 or some weird price on the eShop.
Yeah, it was really really strange when we looked
bit
it
of
up.
an odd price.
No, but
Just make it 40.
yeah, just even it out, guys. Even it out. You don't need to do anything like that.
And Killer Queen Black was announced as well. That's coming later in 2018.
People saw this one coming.
Yeah, I actually know not much about this game apart from it's an arcade-only game. Apart from now, but it's coming to Switch. This is the first console it's available on, which is obviously exciting. It looks like a really fun party game. Looks like this is probably not what it is, but it did remind me of Smash Bros. Sort of like, not knocking people off necessarily, but
in my opinion, it was like more akin to something like Nidhogg.
Okay.
So like one-on-one battles. Quick deaths, and just whoever pushes the most wins, sort of thing. Whoever gets the most. Well, it's more about whoever gets the most points in Killer Queen, but in Nidhogg it was about your kills progressed you further down the lane, so you could eventually be eaten by a giant worm.
Actually, just think about Nidhogg 2. God, I can't wait for that to come to Switch.
That'd be great.
That game is stupid fun.
Yeah.
God, it's fun. I can't believe how fun it is.
Nidhogg is great.
But looking forward to this. I don't have much to say on it. I don't know much about it myself. But once it comes out, I'm sure I'm keen to pick it up, give it a go.
Yeah, give it a crack. That's the thing is there's so much at the moment that's going to require a massive SD card.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot, and that's not a bad thing per se. But it does mean that you need to be careful of how much you're loading up onto your SD cards and all that stuff to
I mean, if you're going to go and pick up Wolfenstein 2 or Skyrim whatever it may be, I think you are better going to get the cards to get from the store.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing at least. Like these, like Mario Odyssey and Zelda, like they're 5-10 gig. That's okay. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
These 23 gig games, so it's like, all right, well, I might as well just go and buy the card.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, save yourself some storage space, because even then they require a bit of a digital download.
Yeah, true. So whatever, you may as well just go. Yeah.
Well, you would still save yourself a fair bit of room doing it.
Yeah.
At least, at least half, which is, yeah.
Anyway, to Hollow Knight. This is a game I've been waiting for since the Switch was released. They
represent South Australia.
Team Cherry, local devs from Adelaide here in South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for this game to come to Switch since they actually announced it like pretty much at launch for the Switch.
Yeah,
and I was waiting for it all last year.
Yeah,
they're a small team of 3 people. At least they were. They're probably expanded now with the success of the game.
Yeah,
but.
I've been holding off buying it too. To be honest,
I bought it on Steam because it was on sale for $10 or $13.
Okay,
and I might play it, and if I don't, it's money to you guys. Like, I'm happy to support local developers. It's got such an awesome art style.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like 9s and 10s everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it sold like
it's a Metroidvania that everybody wanted.
It sold like 500,000 copies just on Steam.
Yeah,
it's gonna blow up on Switch, man. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
and obviously, if you've watched it and if you haven't, it's out now straight away. They announced it to come out straight away. I'm downloading it as we speak.
It should be done.
It's about $17, $18 on the Switch.
Yeah, it's a good price.
Comes with all the DLC, which was free on Steam as well.
Yep.
Yeah, cannot wait to dig into that game.
$17 for that game is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, congratulations to Team Cherry.
Absolutely,
for getting that spotlight.
Team Cherry, that's damn cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's something that like a lot of people in the industry dream of, is getting a spotlight with a big company like Nintendo. Like, that's nuts. That's really great.
Yeah, because this game was originally actually being developed for Wii U.
It was. Yeah.
This game was at Avcon and PAX Australia for years. Like before it come out anywhere. So fantastic to see it on Switch. Good on you guys.
Well done, Team Cherry.
clap.
No, they deserve it.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler is getting a new demo June 14th.
And it also got a release date.
It's already got a release date. It's had a release date before. But
did it? Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway.
It's July something or other.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's 4:30 at the moment. Our brains are dead. 4:30 in the morning.
So if we sound a little more serious than usual, it's because we're trying to get to business.
So that's good. I haven't even played the first demo. I've been meaning to.
Yeah, same.
I assume this demo is a couple more characters. I don't know what they actually said. They would have probably told us.
I think it's a bit more fleshed out than the first demo in general. But I'm still looking forward to the game in general, and I'm still like at that point I'm still sort of like, do I really want to touch it?
Well, that's the thing, because it's like I'm going to pick up the game. I would like to play the first demo just to be like, okay, what's this game?
Yeah.
What am I doing? What are the mechanics? But to play a second demo to get more of the story, I'm like, well, I've already
played it. And
I'm going to get your game anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But it still looks phenomenal as it did.
It's just, I can imagine people like to play 2 hours of the first demo. I'm still not sold. Get another demo. I don't know. It's like
they're being very generous with demos, guys. Just listen.
They are.
And that's good. That the thing is like, and they did show it off at the Square conference as well. They're just like, look, Octopath Traveler's coming, and it looks very pretty and stuff like that. And it's like exclusive to Nintendo Switch, and you know that like, despite Square Enix's problems as a company for the last God knows how many years, I'm afraid, they really seem like they put a lot of heart into this game, much like they did with Bravely Default. And Bravely Default was an amazing game. It was, and the sequel was as well. So I'm sure this will be equally on that same level.
I haven't put as much time as I would like to into these games, but these RPG factory games Square Enix is pumping out are just really cool.
Yeah, they are.
I love it. Like it's like this one especially, like the 3DS. Bravely Default had an amazing art style, but obviously the 3DS graphics couldn't really bring that to vision in the actual game.
Oh, I get, yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Like they sort of used the chibi a lot of the time.
They did, but the strong point of Bravely Default on the 3DS was very much in the world building. It was really good, and the character building was fantastic.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying, like
graphics aside,
yeah.
It's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm just saying graphics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love the art style for this thing. I don't think anyone could say that they don't like this art style.
Yep.
Unless you're not a retro gamer.
Yeah.
Of course. And then they went into a big sizzle reel about a lot of third-party games coming out. I couldn't write them all down quick enough. They were just smashing through them.
Yeah, so here's just some of them, I suppose.
I tried to get the notable ones, the important ones we'd like to talk about on the show.
Yep.
So Starlink, which was announced or shown in more detail in Ubisoft's conference.
Yep.
Fox McCloud and the Star Fox team are coming to the game.
Yep. I was going to say, if you haven't watched the Ubi conference, that was the case. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was a trailer at the Ubi conference. If you want more perspective, basically someone's getting shot down and somebody's calling out, and that somebody is calling out for help, and the Star Fox team responds, and they had a nice little thing happen there where they were like, oh, here's Miyamoto-san, we made you this really nice figure of the Star Fox ship, because they couldn't remember it was called an R-Wing. It was kind of adorable, actually.
He's just like, fuck, I've played this game for years. I love the game. Shigeru Miyamoto is a hero of mine, and I can't remember his goddamn ship name. Actually,
it was a different guy. Do you remember the French fellow who was speaking at the Rabbids announcement? He was heavily French, and he was just like... and
I can't really know.
Well, the developer of the actual game was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then they had the announcer who usually speaks at the Ubi stuff, who's French as anything. He's got a heavy accent. You can tell he's French.
Not the president.
It might be the president.
Okay. Guillemond.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I do know him.
So the same thing happened this time. He talked about it, and
he fucked up. He should know.
Well, the actual person who was working on Starlink, like the head developer of Starlink, had come in on stage to talk about it, and he's just like, Star Fox is like, it was a passion of mine. Star Fox on the NES or whatever was the first SNES or what. I can't remember. My timeline's screwed with Star Fox, but he's like, Star Fox was the first 3D game I'd ever played, and I hold it so well with childhood memories, and I love the whole Star Fox team.
I love the Warthog.
Anyway,
I love, especially the Ghost. That's great to get into as well. Banshees. Oh, don't get started on the Banshee.
Anyway, he was like, "Oh, that's fantastic." You know, he's like, "I love Star Fox, and this is such a great opportunity." It was almost a tear jerking moment, like the Mario Mario plus Rabbids thing. It was almost the same sort of thing, except this guy was like really, he was just pure happiness and joy. He was like, I'm so happy to see Fox McCloud in my game.
Yeah. See, I haven't actually seen. I've only got about quarter way through the Ubisoft conference.
Yeah, and then Gilmon comes out. He's like, "Hey, yeah, this is like Miyamoto-san is in the crowd." And he's just like, "Here's a model for you. Here you go, Miyamoto-san." You're like, "Just say R-Wing. Just say R-Wing."
Miyamoto's just like throws it in the pile of bloody ships he's got.
But yeah, it was nice. So yeah, if you're not caught up on Starlink, it's the game where you build a ship on your controller. And they didn't show much of that this time. They showed more gameplay, and with Star Fox stuff in it, it looks like it could just be a Star Fox game. It looks brilliant.
I'm interested in it if it's a good game, and I can get an excuse to buy a little R-Wing model.
Yeah.
So that works obviously for Ubisoft,
Yeah.
selling that game.
Yeah. But anyway, it looked great.
All right, do you have anything to say on
Arena of Valor?
Yeah.
All I know is that it's a MOBA coming to Switch that looks more in the vein of something like League of Legends than Smite.
Mm-hmm.
The only real console MOBA going on at the moment, apart from the cancelled Paragon, is Smite, and it's way more geared for consoles as a MOBA.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And League of Legends obviously never touched anything, or Dota even never really touched anything console. It's always been PC.
Never will. No.
They never will. But this is Arena of Valor is basically like, hey, this is like what you would see in League of Legends or Dota, but put on the Switch.
Yeah.
So
is this already on iPad and?
I'm not sure.
Mobile devices.
I'm really not sure. I just know that Arena of Valor was a thing that was coming to Switch, and I've known about it for a while. I don't know much other else than that, because the problem with the MOBA scene is it's so outshadowed by League of Legends and Dota. It's like the only two games that exist in the MOBA genre.
Yeah.
I mean, Smite does exist, yes, but the Hi-Res has a bit of a problem with their games where like they get outshadowed by others, but they still pump out some pretty decent quality content.
I mean, it's great for expanding the genres on Switch.
Yeah,
I'm not into MOBAs at all, so I couldn't care less, to be honest. But it's great.
Free to play.
Yeah, free to play. Yeah, it's good for the system.
Yeah,
more genres, more games on it, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Then next there was also a Minecraft update.
Yep, that's coming soon. We're pretty new about that.
Yeah,
Play together, so it links you with every system apart from PlayStation 4.
Yep,
which is fantastic for Minecraft.
Well, any crossplay is fantastic for anything except PlayStation 4 at this point. But
yeah,
I think we've talked about that enough before.
We have, yeah. Probably this was a one that's leaked too, but it's a really good one to see that Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Oh, yeah.
Is on the system. And it's confirmed that it's running at 60 frames per second, which is obviously very important for a
fighting game.
Yeah, frame by frame fighting game.
Yeah,
So,
Dragon Ball FighterZ is something that I've been waiting to hear about, and they were like, Bandai, I'm pretty sure it was like, don't focus on Dragon Ball FighterZ just yet. You'll probably get it in time. First, focus on Xenoverse 2, which is a game that had been on Switch that was Dragon Ball. And I was just like, okay. I'm like, I will buy your Xenoverse 2 if it means I get FighterZ, and they delivered. So that's great. We're getting FighterZ, and I'm glad I didn't buy it on anything else because I want to play that on Switch. It's such a pretty game. I love Arc System Works and their work on BlazBlue and all that stuff as well.
The competitive community leans towards the PlayStation 4 version, and having it on Switch, even if they stick with the PlayStation 4 version, just waiting in lobbies, just on the go, having this game in your pocket is. It's like any game that comes to Switch. It's the same argument. It's in your pocket. You play it wherever you want. You can play it on the TV. That still looks awesome.
Well, with the Switch from a competitive stance is like, hey, if you're traveling and stuff like that, you can still practice combos in training. and stuff like that, and like how you execute certain things, your frame by frame movements. You can practice all on a training dummy. Sure, it's not as effective as practicing on an actual person, but if you have multiple people sitting on a plane who are going to a professional tournament, that's great. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how long it's going to take. Where just the appeal of having a game like this just set up in handheld mode, just sitting on your TV, and you can like play multiplayer with someone just in the middle of a convention or wherever. I don't know when that's going to wear off, but every game that's announced, I'm like, oh yes, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for their fandoms, it's already cemented in place. So I think it was just I'm sorry.
Well, the energy drink with it,
yeah,
drinking to stay up. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. With everything like that coming to the Switch, I don't know. It's just great. I wanted DBFC. I wanted that on launch.
Sorry, did that get a date? I haven't said anything.
No, it just said it's coming.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I'm pretty sure it said 2018.
Presumably
sometime.
this year, you'd think.
Yeah,
they can't
if it's a port.
They wouldn't announce a port this far out.
No.
Yeah.
They also had a couple of other things in there. They had Sushi Striker, which, as we know, is already out.
Came out a couple of days ago.
Yep. So it's apparently pretty good.
It's come out to great reviews.
Yeah.
I've played the demo. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more to it than it looks.
Uh-huh.
And the cutscenes are fantastic. Like it's way more production than you think it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So I haven't picked it up yet, but I would like to.
Yep. They also had both Arc games. They had Pixark and Arc show up on the Switch, which was a bit weird to see both in the highlight reel. It was just like, oh, okay, so they've got Minecraft Arc and Arc. That's cool, I guess.
It is interesting to say that because they're huge indie games.
Yeah, they're really... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see Arc running on the Switch, considering how notorious it was in the beginning. In the beginning, it was notorious for
it's
having
available on Switch. It might not run on Switch.
Well, yeah.
You don't know yet.
Well, yeah, I suppose so as well. Another game that looked interesting there as well was Ninjalo. That looked really cool. We only got like a couple of seconds of gameplay.
Yeah, I can't even remember it.
It looked fun. It looked like basically like, hey, look, it's ninja fights that looks very Splatoony.
Right.
Almost.
I can't remember it at all, to be honest.
Yeah, so you're reeling, mate. You're on that energy drink. It's just reeling your mind out. We also had stuff like Wasteland 2. We've had SNK Heroes, which was also... That's been sitting on the eShop as a trailer for ages.
Yeah.
The SNK 2 Heroines or whatever it is. We've got World Ends With You in fall, which is big news for a lot of people. That game is praised a lot. And it's one that I haven't had the grace of being able to play through yet. I know that it's on literally every available mobile device.
Yeah, so it's on iPhone, iPad.
But I'm very lazy.
No, it's not that you're lazy. It's just that, well, for a start, you don't have an Apple device, and
I have an Apple device. I just never bothered.
Yeah, but you don't. You're like me. You don't play games on your phone.
No, not
you
really.
You don't care. So it's the same with me. But
no, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It's not that you're lazy. It's just you don't want to play games on that platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think most gamers are like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because like even the games I like, oh, that looks good, and I actually download it. I don't end up playing it too much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bryce. Let's move on to the big one. Super Smash Brothers was finally shown.
Yep.
And it's called Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
It features every single character that has been in the series so far,
That's
including
65.
Including fucking Pichu.
Yeah, including the worst character.
And he still hurts himself.
Yep, he still hurts himself using attacks. Isn't it fantastic?
So they did an absolutely huge blowout for this game. They pretty much shown all the characters, a lot of the differences they'll bring to the characters, a lot of the differences they'll bring to the mechanics, showing off new stages, showing off that there's a final destination mode for every stage, as well as a new battlefield mode.
Yep.
For every stage, which when they announced that, I'm like, holy shit, that's really impressive. I didn't even think to add that, and it turns out I really want that now.
Yeah.
Now they've said it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what were your first impressions when you saw this finally seeing the gameplay?
So it looks fantastic, and it looks very much it does absolutely very much look like it's just ridden off the Smash 4 engine and it's pushed on. We've obviously seen a couple matches at this point in the treehouse, but it doesn't feel like it's been enough to gauge where it sits in terms of combat speed or anything like that. You know, it's really something that you have to play, I guess. What I feel about it so far, however, is that it seems like Sakurai is trying to deliver on everything that people want. 65 characters is an insane roster, and that's not including the Echo characters because they're marked.
Yep. So they're brand new. I guess
the classifications for the
characters. So they've classified Lucina and who was it?
Lucina and Marth. They've got a new character in Daisy. They echoed her with Peach. There was actually 3 new characters added to this game. One of them is an Echo, and then 2 of them were brand new characters.
So I reckon that's fantastic. Like, it is nice just to have these sort of different takes on movesets.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a good excuse to get Daisy in there too. Why not?
Yep. We also saw something that I did predict to come true. It was like the only thing I got right. In that they showed many returning they showed a lot of returning faces, including the much requested Ice Climbers, which is fantastic.
Even better Snake.
Even better Snakes. Yeah, Snake was nuts. I'm so glad that they managed to get every single character back for this game. That's so great.
I did really, really appreciate how they built that up. You're just seeing slowly, like, oh shit,
look at all these characters.
Oh look, oh shit, Snake's back. Oh, then they just go, everyone's back.
Yeah, they didn't fuck, like they've tried to fuck with it. They tried to screw with us for a couple times during that presentation. There was only like a small thing where it was just like, just kidding. I can't remember it for the life of me at the moment. But then when they were going through the characters, I'm like, yes, characters. This is awesome. And then it showed Snake. I'm like, shit, Snake's back. And then it's like, everyone's back. And then I was just like, hang on. When you mean everyone, like 65 characters, that's not including echoes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's insane.
They did close by saying, we've got 65 characters, everyone's returning. I hope you don't expect too many new characters.
Yes, they did.
So whether that means this is it, this is the characters, be happy, or, you know, don't expect 10 more characters, expect 2 more characters. Like, it is hard to know what he means by that.
I think everybody will be revealed during this E3. I don't think there'll be any surprises after that. Because we had surprises after that with Smash 4.
Well, think about it. Even if
we had a smaller roster.
Even if they do add 5 characters, like, you know, not a heap, but that's not a small amount either. It's going to be 70 characters.
Well, we should preface by saying that the 3 characters that were added in, one was Daisy, which is an echo to Peach, which I'm sure will make a ton of people happy.
Yeah.
We had Inkling, which was revealed at the last Direct.
Yeah, the teaser trailer for Smash.
The teaser trailer, which is fantastic. You know, love to see Inkling representation and all that. And we also... And this was a damn big one because it will stop a lot of people's crying. Seriously. Ridley.
Yeah.
And that was big. And his reveal trailer was awesome. And that's great. He still looks weird as hell, but he's there.
That trailer when Samus, Mario, and who was it?
Mega Man
were walking on that bridge.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the scene from Star Wars.
Yeah,
Force Awakens.
So did I.
When Han Solo gets stabbed.
It's like, oh god, Kylo Ren's in the game.
Yeah, Kylo Ren stabs Mario.
But I was just like, I saw Samus in the front of the group. I'm like, no. Yeah, well, I said to you, I'm like, those madmen fucking did it, didn't they?
I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, it's Ridley. He looks weird.
He does look weird.
He looks weird being so small. And this is the problem that Sakurai had when he mentioned it in previous years. He was like...
He's been saying this for years.
He's been saying it for years. He looks huge in every other iteration of Smash Bros. In Metroid games, he's huge. It looks so strange for him to just be small and on the same level as any other character. And he does look strange. He looks absolutely strange. But they nailed him in a characterization sense. Big time. the razor tail, the claw moves, the fireball, like the charge up fireballs. He's got a mechanic added to him where if you hit the fireball in his mouth before he can send it off, it damages him, which is like what you would do in Metroid, just shoot him in the mouth before he can let that go.
Yeah.
It would hurt him. That's awesome. And I think they've done a pretty decent job with what they can work with.
He's going to be a ton of fun to play. Like
he
any
absolutely
Smash
will.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely will. So that's fantastic.
So he's not just a echo of Charizard.
yeah. Sakurai did say, like he said, that hope you weren't expecting too many new character reveals. However, there is one I would like to show you now. I think they'll flesh out the roster with a couple more. There's so much potential that a lot of people would be like, man, I wish I had this in the game or whatever. And we've still got to think, like, we've had a new IP since then, like in ARMS, and we've had a bunch of new. Well, no, I wouldn't say new because they've been on the Nintendo systems before, but stuff like Crash and stuff like that as well. That a lot of people are like, huh, and a lot of people leaking out that that's a thing. We've still got the Smash tourney coming. I think there's still room for news there coming from that and that thing.
Yep.
I will preface on what I will conclude with what I have to say. In that, I'm sorry to those people that didn't want 20 minutes of the direct taken up by Smash news.
Yeah. Even us, Super Smash Brothers is our most anticipated game. Super Smash Brothers is one of the games we as best friends play together, like hardcore.
Absolutely.
You've got your games on PC. I've got my games
on everything.
on whatever else I play. I don't even know what I play anymore. I'm too tired to think about that. But Smash Bros. Especially is where we come together and we are having fun. We're competitive.
I'm very passionate about Smash.
And we don't take it seriously, but we take it serious enough. I don't know.
We take it seriously against each other.
Yeah. So we were keen to see every little detail, but it did bring the show to an absolute a halt.
It did.
Like the pace was pumping games out, just announcements, Fire Emblem. Oh shit! It really was missing that extra game. I feel like maybe Metroid Prime 4. Obviously, we read an article on IGN. They basically said why Yoshi, Metroid Prime, etc., wasn't there. It's because they basically felt like it wasn't time to show it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is fair enough. People have to remember, we try to remember this as well. It's easy to get your hype to just get carried away.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, before we keep pushing on real quick, we've talked about Smash. I don't think we need to say anything.
Actually, just about Smash. Let's go back to that again.
Okay, yeah. Cap it off.
But I'm just going to cap it off.
Yep.
That this game, it seems like Sakurai's like, this is my last hurrah.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe he could get talked into it. He might have a rest and decide he wants to do another one. But this seems like he's just squeezing everything he can. He's putting all the characters back in. He's doing Ridley, which I don't think he really wanted to do.
No, he didn't. Absolutely did not want to do Ridley.
But the hardcore fans wanted that. So that's in there. That little dodge mechanic reminded me of wave dashing, sort of.
It was in Melee.
From Melee, yeah.
So wave dashing could be back in the game yet.
Yeah, so I just feel like he's like, all right, we're giving you the ultimate Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
This is what you guys want.
We're giving you the game that you want, so you shut up about it.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it is his last hurrah, then clap to Mr. Masahiro Sakurai. He's done so much.
We cannot wait for the game. And, of course, the game's release date is December 7th,
yep.
which is later than everyone suspected. Everyone was suspecting about September to go with the online service.
Yep. But if it's going to be the ultimate experience...
Yeah, so take the time you need. We want the best Super Smash Brothers on Switch that you can make.
Well, we want to play it for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll move into a bit of a conclusion for the both of us. Just sort of, I think, get our own details in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yep.
So, do you want to go first, or do I want to go first?
Yeah. So, I remember saying to you, holy fuck, this direct is insane.
Yeah.
When they were pumping out announcements, games, I did want to count how many games they did announce, but I couldn't write them all down. There was a lot there. They were getting out quick.
Yeah.
And as much as I loved that Super Smash Brothers segment, I guess I would have preferred if they kept that pace up, showing maybe... It would have been nice to see Prime 4. It would have been nice to see Yoshi. It would have been nice to see some of these games. But obviously, if Nintendo doesn't think they're ready to show yet, that's fine. They're not ready to show. And they'll be showing in a direct later this year or early next year. So just remember, people, that this
isn't the end.
This isn't the end for this year. Like, you know what Nintendo's like. I remember a couple of years ago. Oh, I'm so tired. A few years ago, they just skipped E3. Then the next couple of weeks, they announced the 3DS XL.
Yeah.
So why the hell wasn't that at E3? But they don't give a shit. They really don't care about E3 that much.
Not anymore.
Like, they'll show Smash Brothers, they'll show Pokemon, but they can hold games. They don't really mind.
Yeah. So writing my conclusion off that, I was going to say pretty much similar. So I'm going to say it in a bit of a deeper tone. Guys, I know that for a lot of people, this E3 might have been a bit disappointing. But I think that a lot of people are disappointed because of the amount of Smash news, and not everybody's a Smash fan. Understandable, okay? But don't forget that there was a very good a good set of games at the start of that Direct. It was very good.
Yeah.
Even if you're not in the slightest interested, maybe this Direct just wasn't for you, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And we've had to say the same thing to ourselves in the last couple of years as well. You know, from time to time. The last decade, there's been plenty of E3s where we were upset.
Oh yes,
plenty.
Wii U generation, plenty
of E3s where we were upset.
Yeah.
But again, Nintendo is not heavy on E3 nowadays, and most of their news comes out the year throughout Direct. What other company does that? Not many companies do that.
No.
Nintendo's got information coming out their ears throughout the year.
Yeah, and there's no lack of games to play on this thing either.
No.
Like there's at least one big game coming out each month. You know, littered with indies who we don't even know about yet. They just appear on the eShop.
Yep.
You know, we've got Captain Toad, we've got Treasure Tracker. Gosh,
Treasure Tracker.
My mouth isn't working now. We've got plenty of games. I would have liked to see Smash Brothers earlier, but who wouldn't? But
well, yeah.
You get that, don't you?
The general consensus is like this year, you know, we've had Kirby, we've got Mario Tennis Aces, Captain Toad, Smash Brothers. We've got
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter Generations coming. You know, there is a list of games there that are crossing also a Mario Party. Just games crossing all sorts of genre bounds, and that's not for everyone. Last year we had a phenomenal year. We had a absolutely stellar, phenomenal year filled with so many bang up titles. It was just fantastic.
No one's going to be able to live up to that.
No, you could not live up to that year if it weren't for the life year. There's a lot of people who are like, Nintendo's was the worst this year. I disagree, because I feel like that while
we'll get into the other guys like a couple of episodes, if that's what you're gonna go into.
No, I'm just concluding it. And while there isn't something there might not be something for you, there's definitely something in there for other people.
Yep.
Wait for if you're waiting for Metroid, don't worry. I'm sure there's a Direct on the horizon, and they've pretty much said that. When it's ready, they'll have a Direct for it, and you'll get the news you need. Same with Bayonetta, same with everything else, and that's what Nintendo is about nowadays. A lot of people seem to put their focus on E3 for Nintendo, but we all know that E3 is in the back of their minds. So, other than that, 7 out of 10 for me. I thought everything at the start was brilliant. I thought the Smash stuff was brilliant, but it did drag on.
Yeah,
and I do feel regretful to people who aren't really interested in Smash that it was such a big part of their show.
Yeah, and because we're huge Smash fans, so you can imagine if they didn't give a shit. Like if I was watching Microsoft and they just went 20 minutes on Gears of War, I'll be like, okay, we get it. Yep.
And I've had that in the past as well, and I've gone, this is the worst E3 ever, but in the reality, I had to turn around and be like, well, I'm just not interested in Gears of War.
Yeah, it's just
you know.
Yeah, right.
All right. So that was our E3 2018 Nintendo wind-up.
Yes, our latest episode ever. Earliest, 5 o'clock in the morning we're finishing this.
Yeah, we are finishing this at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we said to ourselves we were going to get some sleep, but tournaments start in 25 minutes.
Yeah. And
that will be the next episode that you guys will probably hear in your ear holes, because we will be covering that as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Seeing more Smash, seeing some of the...
Seeing Pro Splatoon as well. I absolutely love watching Pro Splatoon. It's mesmerizing sometimes.
Yeah.
Those guys are really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the House of Mario, episode 45. We are a part of the 8-Bit Collective, 10 podcasts coming together in your ear holes, 22 podcasters. Oh,
what a night.
What a night.
You can find me at Bryce DeWitt. You can find Drew at iDrewby.
Yes.
You can find the podcast at the House of Mario.
Yeah.
Don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes. And something that we sometimes forget to mention is that, and it won't be in the case of this week because the episodes will be going up straight away, but we do release our episodes early to our Discord members, roughly 12 hours early. So if you feel like getting the podcast in your ears earlier, jump into Discord.
Yeah, it's available
on links there.
Yeah, available on SoundCloud. So
yeah,
easy to listen to no matter what platform you use.
Yep. So if you're excited to listen to our jabber on, you'll find it earlier in Discord. Just remember that.
Yeah. And I also want to thank you very much for getting to the end of this episode. I know there's a lot of content out there for you, E3 to listen to, from the big guys, the small guys, whoever. And I just want to thank you so much for listening. It really means a lot to us tuning into our podcast.
Thanks for picking us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
There's a lot of people running circles around us in terms of numbers and stuff, but we're very passionate about E3. We watch it every year together. There's rarely been an occasion where we haven't. And it feels good to be able to cover it and talk about it through the microphone and know that people are listening.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah. So next episode 46, will be our coverage on the two tournaments, Splatoon and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. We know the name now.
Yes.
And episode 46 will be coming later this week.
47.
Yeah, sorry, 47.
Uh-huh.
Will be us discussing Nintendo's place in the industry as a whole, how they went against the other companies, the third parties, the other platform holders, and we'll also be telling up our predictions as well as our friends in the Discord. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. There's 3 episodes this week. I want to thank you very much for listening, and we'll end the show with Nintendo Jukebox called The Ultimate Smash Bros. By XP Gamer Nintendoed on SoundCloud.
Because if there's anything you needed, it was more Smash Bros.
Yeah, if you need anything else, it's more Smash Bros. It's a funny song. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next episode.
Yeah, not that far away actually.
Yeah. See you guys.
Bye.
3, 2, 1, go! Old Mario was jumping around, final destination like a battleground. Then suddenly Kirby flew from the sky and smacked Mario right in the eye. Mario got missed and smashed attack, but then accidentally hit old Little Mac. Little Mac turned around and struck him with fear when Snake came out in middle gear. Snake jumped from his box and threw a grenade, but then Eggman scratched him on a bot he'd made. Eggman had his lunch, were blasting everyone. Trevor came in with a giant ass gun. He unloaded on everybody at the scene when Hagrid ran him over on his flying machine. Came to a halt as he saw a giant flash as Samus came down and unleashed her final smash. This is the ultimate Smash Bros. The ways of mystery. Good mods, bad mods, and Kahoot. The Scotty's moves you'll see. Is anyone still alive? These fighters are too OP. This is the ultimate Smash Bros. The ways in history. Mario took a lightsaber out of his hat and fought Eggman, who had a home run bat. Genji and Hansel then formed a team, but got blasted by Mega Man's team. Mario was hurt and tried to eat spaghetti when suddenly he got wrecked by Mr. Rossetti. Amongst the chaos, Luigi began to cry, but to his rescue came Heavy with his gun. Heavy got pissed and revved his weapon, but he had to stop when his sandwich was split. Like Crash, who was gonna devour it all. Luigi stepped in through Pokeball. Out came Julie, who sang it ascended Sakurai. He looked upon these mods and yelled, "Oh dear lord." Quickly unsheathing his samurai sword, he went on a rampage, chopping people down. To contest him, Link rode into town. He took out his sword, looking all grim. Sakurai got his keyboard, it simply nerfed him. Then Inkling the girl and Inkling the boy, and are you ready? Let's do this, Leroy! Gamora, and Dora the Explorer, and SpongeBob SquarePants, and Chosen One Sword, Sephiroth, Chun-Li, Master Chief, and DDD, Big Smoke, Professor Oak, every single Teletubby, Gordon, Freeman, and the Dragon Spyro, Roy, our boy, Nurse Joy, and Red Pyro. Spawned out of nowhere, lightning fast and KO'd Sakurai, Samurai S. It was the craziest match in Smash history. Why it all began, it's still a mystery. Carnage dragged on for years on end, the roster diminished till finally then all fighters out, but remain one man, the sexy middle-aged Mr. Tingle. This is the ultimate Smash Bros. The biggest in history. Good mods, bad mods, and God who knows. The spiciest things you'll see. And anyone still alive, these fighters are too OP. This is the ultimate Smash Bros. This is the ultimate Smash Bros. This is the ultimate Smash Bros. The biggest in history.